In our last video, we paid respect to Neptune as we renamed Intention. In this episode, I'm going to show you how we mounted our boat's new name to her hull. The first step was actually to wash the hull, cleaning salt residue and of course any dirt or grime from the surface. Because our boat is over 30 years old, her fiberglass surfaces are a little dull and oxidized, so washing alone would not be enough preparation for the new name labels. I applied buffing compound to the clean hull using a clean soft cloth and worked it in circles until it formed a fine light haze. The very fine abrasive will help to polish off the oxidized surface layer in the next step. The next step is to buff away the buffing compound, revealing smooth, shiny gel coat. This surface is clean and smooth and will allow the best possible adhesion of the new name labels to its surface. We had these name labels designed and cut by a shop locally and are very happy with the way they turned out. With the surface prepared, it's time to make sure that the name will look right on the hull. I applied the name on the port side, that's the side opposite to the one I'm working on here, mostly by eye. I had Donna standing on the dock at a distance behind me telling me if the name was crooked, too high, too low, too far forward, or too far aft. Once we were both satisfied and the name was applied, I took reference measurements so that I could be sure that the name was in the same position on the starboard, that's this side of the boat. The green painter's tape you see identifies the reference marks that I took, and once I got the name in place without sticking it to the hull, I marked the corners of the backing paper with more painter's tape to make sure the name was applied properly. I taped it in place and measured again, and measured a few more times just to be certain. If I messed things up at this point, the mistake would be obvious to me for years to come. When we were satisfied that the name was properly aligned and oriented, I cut the backing in the middle and worked from the center to one side, peeling the backing and using that yellow squeegee in my hand to press the adhesive of the letters onto the hull. I worked along the center line of the name to the outside, then from the center line up and down each letter, smoothing out the letter and making sure there were no wrinkles. I did get a few air bubbles trapped beneath the vinyl, but I was able to work them out with the squeegee after the transfer paper came off. With one side done, I repeated the process on the other side of the label.
Is this easier than in the dinghy?
A lot easier than in the dinghy.
By the time we do 100 boats, you'll be great.
Be perfect. The last step is to peel the transfer paper, the translucent layer that you see over the name, off the name label starting at one corner. It's best to pull the backing paper off at a 45-degree angle to the center line of the label, peeling it down at almost 180 degrees to the surface of the hull as you see me doing here. I took things slowly, watching carefully for parts of the name that did not stick to the hull properly. Everything worked as intended though, and after squeezing out a few air bubbles, we were left with the name Intention, nicely applied to our boat.
Ta-da!
We also had to apply our official hailing port, Victoria, BC, to the transom of our boat to comply with Transport Canada regulations. With that in place and the name applied to both sides of our hull, our boat is officially and properly renamed. Join me next time when I go through a harrowing tale of trying to replace a broken windlass. Thanks. See you next time.